Hi, I'm Micaiah Yin, and today I'll be giving a criticism about Neo-Advaita, so stay tuned. Right, so today I'm going to tell you what Neo-Advaita is. I'm going to give you a definition of Dvaita and Advaita, and then I'm going to give you my criticism. It's only 3 points in the criticism. And right, so Neo-Advaita is what I describe as Western modern non-duality thinking. And you might go, okay, Kaya, what is non-duality? And I'll just say that there is Dvaita, which means dual in Sanskrit, and there is Advaita, which means without dual, so without duality, non-duality. And the idea is Dvaita, which is found in Christianity, Muslim, and Zoroastrian, is that it's a world of possible beings, things and processes, rights and wrongs, clarity and illusion. So the duality way is the idea of how we engage within the concrete world, the conventional concrete world. That's how I understand it. So it's how we engage within the world around us, very external. Non-duality, Advaita, focuses on the ultimate, the eternal, the infinite, the formless, the consciousness of the self. So it's very abstract. It's a very abstract way of looking about the world and very internal. And what a lot of Neo-Advaita, I'll say modern non-duality, to keep it so that we can understand it better, is that there are 3 flaws, I think. And the thing with non-duality is it's sort of the idea that we keep looking for happiness and we search all over in the conventional concrete world for it, but we're never happy. And then they go, well, maybe it's the looker that is actually the happiness. So the eye that is seeing is actually where the happiness is. So they say it's the self that's happiness. Now, Buddhism, mainly Zen Buddhism, does focus on non-duality, but even some of the great gurus of Hinduism and Buddhism state that we must also look to the conventional texts, like the Upanishads, right? So what's happened is these Western thinkers have gone and looked at the Eastern religions and gone, the answer is non-duality. It's so obvious. But this is only looking at half the pie, or it's very myopic. So there's 3 flaws, and the first flaw is that modern non-duality main teaching is call off the search. Because you are already the self, there is no need to seek for it, and no need to make any efforts or engage in any practices. Nothing could be further from the truth. Even Buddha, who was a very strong advocate of non-duality, said we must also know that the fundamental conventional ways in how we interact within the concrete realm. Now, the second flaw is that modern non-duality labours under and suffers a chronic compulsion to always absolutize everything onto the ultimate or final truth level of discourse. There's no appreciation for the divine manifestation, the form of the formless, the conventional experience that we engage in our day-to-day lives. So there's no appreciation for the experience that we engage in our day-to-day lives. But the old adherents of the Advaita believe we must also learn about the conventional, the concrete realm. You know, the reason why we learn about the Four Noble Truths is because we do suffer in the concrete realm that we engage in. Buddhism is all about right thinking, right speech, and right action. We must think correctly. We must act correctly in our lives in order to become a self-actualizing individual. And the last serious flaw in modern non-duality is a strong aversion to or apathy about a genuine spiritual education or intuitive intellectual development, an attitude shared with many New Agers and others in our tragically dumbed-down modern society, so rife with spiritual, political and environmental ignorance, often quite willful ignorance. Yet the great non-dual wisdom traditions of India, China, Japan, Korea and Tibet, as well as Western mystical traditions, all put a strong emphasis on the study of wisdom texts as an essential part of the spiritual curriculum. So this is what I was saying earlier, is that there's this complete apathy and willful ignorance about the Noble Truths, about the great texts in Buddhism. It's like we don't need to learn about the Bhagavad Gita. We don't need to learn about the Shanti Deva's Guide to the Bodhicitta. We don't need to learn about the Upanishads or the Tao Te Ching, because we're ourself and ourself is the ultimate answer. No, we need to learn those things. Like today, I know religion isn't a very big part of the curriculum, but today there's cognitive behavior therapy, schema therapy, mindfulness and dialectical behavior therapy. We need to do those things because we engage in our world. And in order to be a self-actualizing individual and to be at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we need to learn how to act, behave and think accordingly in our world. And then we can focus on our consciousness, on ourself. That is the way Eastern philosophy traditions say we should do. And that's all I have. So those are my criticisms, and like I say, it's important that we learn because we want to be a rational being. We want to engage within the world and become a better person. Just being yourself isn't enough. And this is the problem with modern non-duality. Don't get me wrong, I think non-duality is a great philosophy, but we also have to learn how to engage in our concrete world. And I'm Micaiah Yin. That's all for today. And one other thing, don't forget to subscribe to Katie Morton and visit her website. We have a great community there. That's www.katimorton.com. Have a great week.